Guys, let's talk about true loyalty. Okay. Your only loyalty is to the natural laws provided for the by the glory of God to love one another faithfully through holy covenants. That's your only loyalty. You don't have any loyalty to a bunch of people that get together and will mass murder over what they want, write down on pieces of paper this and have people sign it and say, "You're gravity, now you're bound by the laws of gravity to be gravitated to our fuck group to kill and drop bombs on people planes and then have stories about it on the news." And those little assholes all running around on the streets of DC being complete fucking assholes. You see them beating the shit out of each other. They're going around in big groups dick measuring and booty contesting and beating the shit out of each other to impress. But like Dad told me about with Telly, she's impressed by the way you stood up to Freddie and all that and how you could, kick people's asses. I haven't had to, Dad. Yeah, but fighting is an intelligent man's last resort, Earl. And fighting is ignorance. So if you're fighting to impress people, who are you trying to impress? The ignorant shit. But she was really cute, had a nice body, right? Then later on, when I was hanging out with Peggy again, I found out that her and Debbie Trujillo and Peggy got into a fight over Benny Fielder, and Tella tried to bite Peggy's nipple off in the fight to have sex with Benny Fielder. And I'm like, wow, that's insane. I understand when you find other people on top of your wife sexually, that you do want to physically beat the shit out of the guy, especially if you know him and he has no regard and respect for your children and your marriage. You definitely want to toss him out of a second story window. You definitely want to take the gun he puts in your face and beat the hell out of it with the rifle butt. You do want to do that. Don't you ever, and you want to sit there and go, I should be able to, everybody should understand this. It goes to a court of law. What happened? Well, he's fucking my wife. I caught him. He stuck a gun in my face and I beat the hell out of him with the rifle butt. He's still alive. He got 2 broken knees. That sounds about appropriate. Okay, Judge Roy Bean. You know what I mean? All right, Solomon. Thank you. Right? And that's horrible. That's frontier justice. That's no meaningful relationships. That's not civilization. That's not people that, understand and can read and apply the 10 Commandments in physics, right? God's omniscient and omnipotent. You have to honor the life of your parents in order to worship God. Okay, it's really easy. Yeah, technology's getting better. I'm expressing myself linguistically better because I'm connecting more to the technology and less to the people. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. God's omniscient and omnipotent. You can't replace God with your ego. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Okay. Don't make a statue of yourself and say, I'm a descendant of the gods. You're an asshole. Okay. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. That's flipped. Don't take the name of God, of the Lord in vain. Okay, when the Lord teaches you about God being omniscient and omnipotent, don't take your graven image and say that your rocks in your pocket and your 100 for your pocket money jingling in your jeans is valuable and you're given life by the glory of God, not by the asshole at the bank, right? Okay, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Okay, remember that God is the essence of creation. And take time to make time to worship. Basically what he's saying. Okay. Honor mother and father. Okay. You wouldn't be able to worship if your parents, even if your mom was raped by your dad. Okay. You can still forgive your dad and worship God and not be a bar hopping rapist. Hey, Will Smith, you get that? Okay. Do you? Okay. Thou shalt not murder. Okay. Don't kill to kill. Okay. A wolf will eat you. And if you don't manage your herds, your animals will eat everything while your children lay on the floor dying and you're running around going, namaste, namaste. And that's fucking crazy, right? Thou shalt not commit adultery. When you make a commitment to a relationship, if that relationship is no longer meaningful or valid between the two of you, get together, realize you need to divorce, and then be with someone else that won't sneak around behind somebody else's back because they can't trust you, you can't trust them. Jealous darling, I'm jealous of you too. It's not too hard. Okay. Thou shalt not steal. If you need something, let Job and Earl know. What do you need? Oh, wow. Why do you not have it? Because these people are assholes. They coveted my wife that she's committing adultery. And okay, I lived in Cochise County. I lived in Doña Ana County. I understand. Okay. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. We have the most extensive surveillance network in the whole world. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. You're not. Okay. So just take the other 8 and tell Richard Dawkins, you better remember to honor the first 4. He didn't even do 5. He just did thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not lie, and thou shalt not try to take something that somebody else needs. Well, Richard Dawkins, you really are an asshole, aren't you? And that covered it, right? Okay. Thou shalt not covet. Don't try to say, hey, don't stand like the assholes at the clubs in Phoenix while I'm walking out with Yolanda grabbing your dick. That's coveting, right? I don't do that to your girl. I'm just a really nice guy, and she walks up and says, why can't you be him? That happened to me all the time at the club at the Pope Air Force Base, Ain't nothing in here but chicken heads and bullwhips. I'm the only I have a fiance, so I can't go around dancing and getting other girls' hopes up and stuff. But if I, was single, there's plenty of attractive, beautiful women in this club to meet and get to know and have a try to work on having a meaningful relationship, even though we're in a goddamn bar. Some people don't know of any other place to go. And they're not given the social conditions to really go anywhere else except for to a church. And there you get abused by people that, a town without pity. We're like tigers in a cage. It's horrible. You go to these church things and stuff, sex is sin. Then why are we here, asshole? Because we fell from heaven. We fell from grace. Okay. So our souls were put on this planet by the glory of God to love one another and obey natural laws to honor the gift of life in one another. And you're saying we fell from grace and we can't be gods in the sky because we're not good enough to be gods in the sky. You got a real fucked up ego problem, and you sure look at the life of sacrifice really fucked up. I think you forgot how much Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. loves babies. Oh, hey. So, Donald John Trump, I'm watching you. They keep putting Fox News on my thing. Kamala Harris, I'm watching you. They put MSNBC in the whatever news lady thing with the grumpy, codgy old lady that talks about, we're going to save democracy. Democracy can't even save itself. A bunch of people voting in a popularity contest over money. It was destined to failure. It's genocidal. It was never meant to succeed, just like slavery and prostitution and drug dealing. Okay? And raping, marauding, fucking, pillaging hordes. They're destined to fail, and they're meant to fail because they're not honoring the beauty of the gift of life in children, right? Oh, PBS this and MSNBC that, and fuck you. You're a bunch of fucking assholes, okay? And what you've got to understand with the assholes in China and the assholes in Japan that have very, very, very manipulated, not controlled, inbred, unified movements. Well, not unified, inbred, aggressive, violent, oppressive sex cult movements. Let's Aaron Neville this. If you want something to play with, tell it like it is. Right. Don't be ashamed. Do you understand, Javon? Okay. I watched Jennifer last night on one of her old movies made like 20 years ago. Yeah. And it's based off of irrationality and nothing like what Earl did when he was in Cochise County. He broke 5 federal laws in 2 minutes. Well, I'm showing Barack Obama and Andrew Womack and the Pope how to protect women from being sexual contraband in the 20th century when you have no establishment of an institution and indoctrination to establish incarceration. I'm Who don't go on and did that thing in one parking lot with one woman, either being a illegal immigrant with a phone or a person from Fort Huachuca. It doesn't matter. I wasn't in on the joke. I was doing everything in my ability to get this woman to an Episcopal church for sanctuary, like I saw on the news. And I couldn't leave work. I'd lose my job. So I had to sit there and I had to call around and see. I called Gracie, who was a preacher who always, we can't say shit in fucking front of God. Jesus is watching, Earl. Well, this Jesus knows this shit is fucked up, Gracie. Don't say that. He knows. He's here right now. He knows these people are lying and they're abusing people with their money, and it's wrong and it needs to stop. We need to live the ways of Jesus, not sit around and go, we don't say fuck in front of people, but we accept fuck with money because we're prostitutes. Shit. Called her. I said, can you come give her a ride? No, Ralph, I don't want to get incarcerated. You're not going to get incarcerated. You're just going to pick up a lady in a parking lot and drop her off at an Episcopal church in a car. You don't even have to say who you know what it was. A friend just called me and asked me to give her a ride to the church because he said there's people that will help her. That's all you have to say if the authorities pick you up. But she wouldn't even get in the car and try. All that talk about helping people from Mexico, helping us live like Jesus. And when I called her up and asked her to live like Jesus, she wouldn't do it. Oh, I was really pissed. You know, this shit is fucked up, Gracie. I didn't say that to her, but I just hung up the phone. I was like, God damn, all that talk. She talks about taking care of our people. You know, yeah, I left blankets and water inside my well house when we lived out in the boonies for migrants that came through there at night across the property we were renting, so they would be safe from the elements and have water. Okay, anybody in their right mind would leave blankets and water in your well house knowing this is a good place to shelter for the night while you're migrating from Mexico to Tucson or Phoenix, right? Anybody that's human would do that, right? I taught Tom Jefferson, my wife Sinceri. I take her with me everywhere I go. Right? So, you know, maybe Jennifer Lopez didn't have a clue who I was, and they didn't show her most of my surveillance, and they just told her what a pervert I was because of what the military was doing with my wife and affecting her kids. And they do that with everybody in my life. They do horrible things to them and abuse them horrifically to make me feel inadequate. And make my family all pray to a magic roe beast in the sky for Voltron to protect us from the roe beast. I'm not sure. You have to invent both. You have to invent God in your head and a devil in your head in order to justify denying God. It's the classic of all blunders. It's an Asian land war. Vicini will explain it to you. Okay, to understand this overall. I'm very funny, and I understand that. And I understand how gorgeous I am. Even with a body that looked like Uncle Fester's. Dude, 2017? Shit. If Javon Repeat knew who I was, it'd be hard for me to keep her hands off me. It's like, damn, Catherine Zeta-Jones, let me, Michael Douglas, get a break here. I'm a little bit tired. You think you all bad shit, girl. You would have got me when I was in my 18 or in my 20s. You'd be over there going, Lord, Earl, don't you dare. I'm leaving $5 on your headboard and I'll do it tonight when I get back. You think you're all bad. I know I'm bad, girl. Girl. There ain't a woman in the world that can, no, don't start now. It won't be that. No, Steffi was a sexual athlete. Okay, she slept for 16 hours a day. I was sleeping for 4 hours a day. Okay, and I'm the one who kept it going. She couldn't hit the mountaintop because she was sexually abused by perverts because of the Mormon Church, the Catholic Church, the Pentagon, the United Nations, the League of Nations, so on, so forth. The Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, the Egyptian Empire, the Mayans, all those perverts. Okay, they make it impossible to just trust me, love me. Enjoy yourself with me. You better enjoy yourself. So I'm one of the best dancers in the whole. Oh yeah. Trust me. Okay. I was faster than any human being clocked in the world in my generation and anybody being clocked today. and I could jump higher when needed than anybody ever measured in my generation, before my generation, and since. Okay, I was an amazing athlete. Now I'm Uncle Fester's cousin, poisoned by all the perverts who, yeah. But in 2017, man, I had the Brad Pitt V going on for the first time in my life, because it was the first time I could ever devote myself to doing exercise and exercising and and being focused on it, because I didn't have Patrick Steffi's trying to get money from the state, dropping Patrick off at 6 o'clock in the morning after I got off work at 1, and all that shit. I remember when I went to doctor, I can't remember his sweetheart, my doctor, but he gave me a week off because I went to the mirror and I had like vampire eyes. I'm like, good God, look at my eyes. And I went to the doctor, said, what's wrong with me? He said, you're exhausted. You're not getting enough rest. I said, well, and then I told him, he said, okay, so let me get this straight. You're getting off work at 1, right? Your ex-wife, because she wants tax money, is dropping your son off at 5 in the morning, right? Because she picks him up so she can get the tax money for it. And then she got all pissed off at me because she said, you know how much money I spent picking up and dropping off Patrick at your house? Oh, yeah, I don't know. How much money do I spend feeding him and paying for his daycare? And then you want the tax refund every other year to go to the bar to have sex with really mean lesbians. Yeah. Then you can't call the cops because the cops will take away all rights to Patrick, so you won't get any tax money. And then you have me run the mean lesbians out, which is better than calling the cops. Oh, yeah. No drama, no nothing. They just calm down or leave. Yeah. Earl's coming. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm a sweetheart. I don't come in and what's going on? With Shar, she was freaking out. She was drunk. And Shar was drunk too, and I'm sitting there and say, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to have her leave? Is this this is your place. Do you want me to have her leave? She was freaking out because it was her boss. Isn't that horrible? Yeah. She's having sex with her boss, and if she threw her boss out because she was sexually abusing her, she was afraid she'd get fired. And then she'd have to move in with me. Then she wouldn't be able to have sex with her boss or anybody else. Yeah, and she told me that when I said, you can move in with me. And she said, no, because none of the girls that I want to have sex with will have sex with me. Take a year off, spend time with Patrick. You'll be working somewhere. I'll be working somewhere. Okay, so you can't. I don't have sex with women here. I have a couple times when Patrick's at your house or mostly at Teresa and Punchy's house. I've had sex twice in this apartment. Okay. Yeah, that's it. The other time was at John Delay's. Okay, twice in this apartment. But I rarely do because I always have Patrick. So I don't have sex in this apartment because he's rarely gone, right? And that was the whole thing. I've had more sex with more girls in the last year than you've had your entire life. I'm like, I'm all right with that. BRLFQ spells mom and dad. That ain't too bad. And that's my boy. Okay. And he idolized me, I remember that when he got to go to the bathroom. You were scared, Dad? Dad, you run drug dealers out of here without even batting an eyelash. You look them in the eye and tell them, get, and they go. Okay, yeah, that's my dad. Yeah, no, Larry Fishburne has nothing on my dad. Larry Fishburne does it with a camera crew pretending. My dad does it for real. Okay. Antoine, you got to go. No, you ain't beating your baby. The thing is, she probably kick your ass if I let you all go at it. She'd probably throw you over the good man and say, damn, girl, if you wasn't so stupid, I'd be attracted to you. That's what I used to be with a lot of them too. If you weren't so damn dumb, I would actually find you attractive. They used to get mad. Ralph, it's like, hey, it's true. You keep asking that motherfucker back. He's dumb as a box of rocks. It's affecting your poor kids. They used to always tell me that too. I don't know what it's like. Okay, you guys sit here on welfare and have sex with your stupid boyfriends that are always breaking the law, trying to hide them from the cops, and the state pays your bills, okay? I work at a Fortune 500 company, go to college, raise my son while the state takes money from me and Patrick so my wife can go live at the lesbian Lars and lives like you idiots. My ex-wife, yeah. Oh, I'm nothing like Ross from Friends. Not at all. Never have been a day in my life. It was almost like a song, but it's much too sad to write. And if you guys watched the show and it went up to the time where he was 59, most of you, if you know, knowing I love you so, anyone who had a heart would take me in her arms and love me too. You couldn't have a heart and treat me like you treat me and be so untrue. So what can I do, right? Just keep doing what I'm doing. Well, life's eternal and grace is infinite. 59 years I've been studied and treated like shit by jealous piles of shit, ignored by arrogant, aggressive, violent, sex-cold assholes that I keep trying to reach into the phone and saying, could you come help me, for crying out fucking loud? This would work a lot better if it was not just Earl praying to the saints. It'd be a lot better if you guys, hey, I want my sainthood. I want to stand up for the Lord's Prayer. I'm sick and tired of being a douche and the bag that came in, right? Come on, Sheldon. You're the captain of the physics team? PMS or PMS or AA, you know? You on the rag or you drunk? Or are you going through, you kicking it, trying to kick it? And Duffy, you need to go in the back alley and get blunted. You act like a bitch on the rag. That shit was so funny. I love Tifa. Tifa's not a celebrity with billions of followers and millions of dollars or billions of, I don't know. It's either billions of dollars and millions of followers or billions of followers and millions of dollars. Usually the billions of followers have millions of dollars. And the billions of dollars have millions of followers. Okay? Because there's less people trying to be assholes with $1 billion, and there's more people trying to be brain chemical sex cult addict assholes to have millions of dollars or billions of followers. It doesn't make you any better. You have to be living the Lord's Prayer either way. You can think Elon Musk is a bigger asshole than you if you're a celebrity in a propaganda movie, but that's not true. You either do or do not. There is no try, right? You're either to be or not to be. That is the question, right? It's a Midsummer's Night Dream. Much ado about nothing, right? Earl, I know how gorgeous I am. I don't need validation from a bunch of selfish assholes to help me understand just what a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, perfect, courageous, kind human being I am. I know exactly, Dad, you were scared? Yeah, son, I was. I'll get you a Donald Duck nightlight. You had a Donald Duck nightlight? I did. Fucking Jack Palance playing Dracula scared the shit out of me. I was a little guy. Patrick was never little. No, Patrick had bigger hands and feet in 8th grade, or in 4th grade. Okay, than I had my whole life. Dad, how come your penis is big and hairy and mine is small and not? I was like, you're giving Dad way too much credit. Okay. You're gonna pass me up before you get out of elementary school on because and the little girl with the Mormon girl, she was so cute. She was blonde, she was gorgeous. She's like just sitting there, these guys are great. I'm like, I got the best wingman in the business and I didn't even train him. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. He's a genius. Well, no, he's not stupid. Okay, wait, sorry. He's the best wingman. He's just looking for a good mom, and he's looking at these hot blondes going, that would be a good stepmom. She's gorgeous. He really liked Jake's mom. She looked like Gwyneth Paltrow with a more full figure. She was a sweetheart. Really nice. Her daughter was lesbian, and they got a divorce because the dad was a shit to the daughter. And the mom was not having it. And I was like, oh, what a... And Jake, she was raising Jake, and yeah, she was wonderful. Okay. She had a good job. She had her house. The guy was abusive because of stupidity, tribalism. She threw him out. I'm like, she's like I wanted to, but I didn't want to involve her with the stuff with Stephanie. Stephanie was all pissed off at me because Stephanie, when they started talking, Stephanie thought, oh, wow, she's hot and she's got a lesbian daughter and she's hitting on me. It's like, no, she's wanting to know if it's okay, if, she's okay with maybe possibly, me and your ex-husband getting to know each other better. She was like Ross from Friends, right? Okay. Yeah, she was a sweetheart. And I never did. No, I went with Amy instead. And Patrick he's still mad to that. Why not Jake's mom? Why did you take Amy? Because Jesus told me. With Jake's mom, it was, that would be part of the Obama clan, and we'd be killing all the people in the Middle East that are killing people in F-15s. And that would be okay, because we're in the right group to kill the right people. When I took Amy to protect the people that are being mass murdered in the cities from the people that live in the Hamptons and in Malibu, so Ken can kiss your Barbie, right? I had to do what I had to do. I had to protect the innocent from the guilty. But they're not innocent. Yeah, they are. Okay. Yeah, they are. Ignorance is not an excuse for arrogance. And when you keep the population ignorant through arrogance, that's not an excuse for denying the Lord's Prayer. Hey, attitude reflects leadership. And the military, shit rolls downhill. And if that's all you ever are, that's all you're ever going to do. Right? What's it like being the new leader of the Army for a day? How about you, new Attorney General? Bondi's probably, I'm getting the hell out of here before it's too late. Yes, Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. loves me. Keep saying that, Pam. And you want to live the Lord's Prayer. Make sure your fucking phone knows it, okay? As far as people standing up to tell me, I don't know why. And even when they tell me what was going on, I'm still never going to understand why. Well, because, you live free or die, man. It's a small populated state. There's not a lot of them, and I don't think any of them are intending on standing up for the Lord's Prayer to live free from death, murder, kill, and being a zombie for a death cult that owns slaves and considers their wives and children property. And let's make the world safe for democracy. Are you sure about that, you crazy Susan B. Anthony bitch? Girl, jeez. Serious? Girl. Hi! Well, Professor Parsons at We Love the World University. Classes free if you got a library card and can go to YouTube. Righty then. Okay, guys, I love you. You got 27 minutes? Well, then you got enough time to sit down and understand freedom from a man who really loves you eternally. All right, peace out.